Hello and welcome to another brand new episode of the Pangolin Podcast. I'm your host, Toby Jermyn. Thank you very much for joining me. In each episode, I've invited a professional wildlife photographer to imagine themselves in a remote location. And along with their camera gear, they're allowed to bring 5 photographs to hang on the wall of their humble dwelling. Now, 4 of these must be their own, and the final image is one they admire by another photographer. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the images as we talk, but for audio listeners on other platforms, there's a link in the description below. On today's show,
I fell in love with shooting from a lower angle, to a point that I even sometimes put my camera right just below the water, like some centimeters. At some point, I even touched the water just below there to protect my camera so it doesn't drown. Just trying to get to that perfect position.
My guest today has been around animals all his life. He is Botswana-born and raised and grew up in the Okavango Delta, so it was only natural that he became a safari guide. It was through this that he also developed his passion for photography and capturing the incredible wildlife he saw every day. He came across pangolin photo safaris whilst working in the Chobe, and one day he walked into the hotel with his CV and asked for a job. Fast forward 4 years, he's now one of our resident pangolin photo hosts, not only welcoming guests, but also mentoring our 3 new interns who will soon become Botswana's next generation of pro wildlife photographers. He is, of course, pangolin photo host Walter Aaron. Hello, Walter. How are you?
Hi, Toby. Very well. Thank you so much for having me here. What an introduction.
It's an absolute pleasure. I'm glad you could make time. It's still busy safari season at the moment, isn't it, Walter? How busy have you been this year?
Oh, wow. We've been running up and down with the trips. I just dropped one of my previous group before I had to be here to start the podcast.
Oh, well, there we go. So you're just in time. Wave goodbye to the guests and then zoom straight into the YouTube studio. I have to go. I'm on a podcast. I have to go.
Oh, yes.
Excellent, Walter. So, Walter, can you believe it? It's been 4 years, probably almost 5 years, isn't it?
Oh, time flies, huh?
Doesn't it just? And you don't seem to age, which is really annoying. Everybody ages apart from Walter. Walter still looks young.
Thank you so much. I age wisely.
You age wisely. That's the secret. That's the secret, isn't it? So yeah. I've invited you on the podcast, and the premise is that you had to go and choose 4 images from your bulging portfolio. Now your portfolio is getting quite big now. How difficult or easy was it to choose these 4 images?
Oh my goodness, that was really terrifying moment for me. Just think of choosing only 4. You could have maybe asked for 100 or maybe 200, maybe, because it was really challenging to select these 4 images.
Well, I'm really glad that you have done, and we are very delighted that you are not only part of now moving in towards the senior photo host realm, and now we have 3 interns or understudies you're working with. How are they doing?
Oh, well, they're doing pretty good. I mean, they are learning a lot from us, and they are looking forward as well to become the senior photo host as well in future.
Excellent. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing that we are able to do, is to go and find this talent in Botswana and nurture it and prove that, Botswana is up there. Next thing we need a winner of the Wildlife Photographer of the Year from Botswana. Is that going to be you, Walter?
Possible. I'm looking forward for that.
Don't say possible, Walter. You have to say absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
That's the spirit. Okay, yeah. Walter, we're going to start with your first image, which is a beautiful image to start with. Can you please tell the viewers and the listeners a little bit about this image, please?
Well, this is the image of a leopard cub just in the beautiful greenery season. And he happens to look up in the sky. I mean, we thought he's looking up in the sky, but he was looking up on a tree, which is something that is very interesting to get cat's eye just popping up. I mean, for me, it's all about the eyes of these cats.
Absolutely. Do you know what he was looking at? Was there a bird or a monkey or something up there?
Well, it was very interesting to get it to this sighting. We started as a very quiet game drive in the Chobe National Park. We just beating about the bush. Then round about the corner, we saw only about few vehicles packed on one spot. Then we noticed that they were looking onto an adult leopard. And as we came to a stop, it disappeared behind the bushes. And those 5 vehicles that we found, they left. And then we decided just to wait. Then suddenly it came out. So it started moving around, and it came right to nearby bushes. And we saw a movement from that tree, and boom, a leopard baby came out. And it sit nicely in a very short grass. I mean, it was the season when we have really, really tall grasses, whereby if it decided to go on the opposite direction, we could have not seen it. And then it just stayed where we can take some beautiful shots from it.
It's really lovely, isn't it? And how far away were you? Because the angle looks quite low, but obviously you're in a game viewer. So how far away were you from the cub?
Well, amazingly, it came to the left side of the vehicle, less than 10 meters from our car. And then it decided just to be there because we didn't expect to see the leopard cub. We were just looking for the adult one. That's why we didn't include the tree where he was looking up. So we went for more like portrait shots so that we can get those beautiful eyes. I mean, when you zoom into those eyes, you'll see even the reflection of the tree. And we were like, why is he keeping looking up? So we decided to look up as well. Then boom, there's a baby impala kill up on a tree where mommy just secured it. So that's why he kept on looking up there to make sure, oh, my meal doesn't fall, because you know how leopards are. So they kill something. Then bigger predators like lions or spotted hyenas can beat them and get a meal. But to secure their food, they have to drag it up on a taller tree so that they can eat without any problem.
Excellent. And what I love is this is a perfect example of being patient. Whilst all the other vehicles went, okay, we've seen it, tick the box, let's go. What made you want to hang around? What went through your mind?
Well, the amazing part is that when we came, because the first leopard that we saw, that adult one, disappeared behind the bushes, we didn't take any pictures or whatsoever. Then we decided like, okay, let's just wait. Maybe it come out. And I think 5 minutes after they left, it finally came out. And then the leopard cub actually didn't come up immediately because you know how the leopards are, they are elusive cats. And when they have babies, they will make sure they keep them safe from any threats they can come their way. So including vehicles, you know, when we come with these roaring engines, so no leopard cub will think of coming out. And eventually, because we switched off the car, we just remained quietly. And then maybe after that 30 minutes, the leopard cub realized that, oh, this is actually one of those friendly metal thing that we normally see every day passing by.
Do you think they saw the logo? They saw the logo. They saw Pangolin, and they went, "Oh, these guys are okay. We like these guys. Let's pose for them."
Yeah, it was quite amazing. I mean, we stayed with this leopard cub for about 3 hours, and we had the whole sighting for our own. Yeah.
But that's it. You know, green season, there are far fewer vehicles around the place because I don't know why people don't want to come at that time of year, but that's their loss. But obviously you were with guests. They must have been delighted.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to see a leopard, it's an elusive cat. Now, to spot one, it's a great luck. Now, to spot more than one, it's even double luck. It's a double portion. So they were absolutely amazed by our patient by waiting. And they said, no, thank you so much for waiting. And we got 2 leopards for the price of 1. Then the other guests, they left.
There we go. They got 1 leopard only. That was it. So, Walter, obviously, the big advantage that you have over most other photographers is you have a guiding background, don't you? So you were guiding before. So where did you start guiding in Botswana?
Amazingly, I grew up in the Delta, but then my guiding started in Chobe. The reason is that I'm a family man. So having 2 boys to guide and love and show their father in love. So I decided to do my guiding in Chobe so that now I can go to work, I can come back to my boys and my wife as well. And it's really, really amazing because I can be where there is network. I can communicate with them anytime. In the Delta, back then, is that there was no communication whatsoever. So if you work in the Delta, you go for like 3 months, then they give you 1 month to go back home. So to me, it didn't suit. That's why I decided to do my guiding here in Chobe.
So your 2 boys are a little bit older now, aren't they? Even though you still look ridiculously young. Now your 2 boys are older, and that means that now you're doing a little bit more traveling and you're going with our clients down to the Delta and different places as well now, isn't it? So, but that's only for a short time, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely. The first one is about 13 years, then the second one is 6. But even when I go for the trips, at least I know I go maybe for 2 weeks and then I'm back. So, which is perfectly fine.
There's not enough time for them to get in trouble.
Oh, no. No, the second one, the last one is actually the one which is troublesome. So he need me to be around mostly.
Okay, brilliant. And then what took you to, one day you walked into the hotel. Who was the person you met when you walked into the hotel?
Well, when I came to the hotel to look for a position in Pangolin, I've actually met 2 people there. I met Ndibo, who is the HR, and then I met then Jacana, who was the manager by then. And I was like, hello, good afternoon. Can I please see guards? And they said, can we ask what for? And I was like, well, I want a position in this company, but I want to speak with him.
You went to speak to the boss.
I had my CV with me, but I didn't want to leave it just with them. I just said to see guards and speak with him direct.
There we go. Well, that's very good. That's a good lesson for everybody. Cut out all the middle management, go straight to the boss. For those of you who don't know, Guts is my business partner and he runs all the operations in Botswana. So this is it. Everybody watching this in Botswana is now going to go to the hotel and ask for Guts.
I mean, I know when talking to guards will actually give me the chance to explain more. So if I say it in words, I can actually explain myself better than what the CV has.
There you go. You could be your own in-person CV. That's absolutely brilliant. Well, we are so glad that you took that step and that you insisted to speak to the boss. Well done. Very good. Okay, listen, let's move on to the second image, shall we? Okay, Walter, what is going on here? Tell us about this image.
Well, this image here is a buffalo and a crocodile fighting one another. So I normally call the buffalo the widowmaker, or everybody who knows buffalo, we call it the widowmaker, versus the silent killer of the freshwater.
Right. This sounds like a wrestling match. It sounds like it should be on the WWO. The Widowmaker takes on the silent killer. Brilliant.
You know how it is. I mean, buffaloes are very furious animals. So on this particular day, we were out on the afternoon boat cruise and we are just cruising along. The next thing we see is these buffaloes. You know how they like to graze along the Chobe River. And as we were just enjoying watching those buffaloes there, we noticed there was that crocodile was planning to leave the channel we were in to move to the next channel in a far distance. And then when that buffalo saw that movement, buffaloes, they know their enemies very well. So they normally don't really fight anything that doesn't threaten their lives. So when he noticed that, now this crocodile is outside. And the Nile crocodiles, when they're outside, they're powerless. So they're more deadly in the water. So that is when he thought, okay, I can maybe get my revenge. I don't know, maybe what transpired on the previous time when this buffalo was swimming from land to the island. Maybe the crocodile came and bite on him. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my revenge now. So he followed the crocodile, started attacking from behind. That's when the croc just turned around quickly, trying to bite him. But the crocodile, they've got one of the most deadly bite force in the animal kingdom. I mean, it will definitely cause some damage on the buffalo if he was actually to grab it by the ear or maybe by the nose, which is going to be very, very painful. So we can clearly see in this image the buffalo trying to dodge the strike and aiming the horns to stop the crocodile from biting on any part of the body which is more sensitive.
It's a really unique moment. I have seen a young buffalo swimming across the river being taken by a crocodile. It's an awful thing to see because it just took the young one. It's like, oh no, poor thing. But it is a danger. There might well be something in that where the buffalo has been attacked by a crocodile in the past and has gone, this is revenge time. But it's a really weird fight, isn't it? When two buffaloes have a fight, they're often the same size. But now you've got a crocodile reaching up and a buffalo reaching down. What on earth did you tell your guests when this was happening?
Well, the only thing that I can say was he went for revenge because buffaloes, they've got hot temper. So they don't just do that on the crocodiles. They can do that on lions. They can do that on hyenas, anything that can kill them, even humans, they will actually attack you. So now it was clearly for me that since he got the chance to attack him on land, because he can never do that when the croc is in the water. So he thought, okay, I can maybe just make my impact here on this fella when he's on land and I'm in charge on the land. So yeah, he went for it.
And I want to know, well, obviously everybody watching this wants to know, well, what happened? How did it end?
Well, amazingly, the big monster of the water decided just to carry on because his mission was never to fight with the buffalo on land. So he wanted just to leave the channel to go to the next channel. So the buffalo tried several attempts, but eventually he gave up and they just went separate ways.
So they crossed paths, had a fight, realized it wasn't really going to go either way, and then just moved on. It was too risky for both of them. But I think the message was, let's not mess with each other. So this was obviously taken from the boat because it's a nice low angle, isn't it?
Yeah, it was on the afternoon boat cruise.
And obviously you've been working in the Chobe for quite some time, and you do the boat cruises and you do the game drives as well. The last picture we saw was taken on a game drive. Do you have a preference?
Well, Chobe for me, I go on the boat. I love being on the boats. The reason is that all animals, they rely on the Chobe River. So it's easy when you conduct a boat cruise, everybody comes down. You don't need to struggle to go out and try to look for animals. Everybody will just come, especially talking about the huge elephants numbers that we have here. In summertime, there's thousands of them just come to drink water on the riverside. So for me, yes, the river is my choice.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. The reason we started Pangolin in the Chobe is because we had access to the river. What is it particularly about photographing from the boat that you think the clients enjoy so much?
Well, what I think myself is that being on the boat, you can actually move in so quietly approaching animals rather than maybe in the car where you have this loud sound coming from the engines. So in the boat, you can just switch off and just drift closer to the animals. And that low position, eye level position that every photographer will want to shoot from, I mean, being on the boat really gives even our guests the best eye level position ever.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we spend all this money on designing these amazing chairs and gimbals and mounts and stabilization and everything. And as soon as we get to a subject, everybody is sitting on the floor and they're photographing like this far off the water level. We're like, why did we bother spending all this money on these chairs? Everybody just wants to be sitting on the floor. What can you do? It's good. It's nice to have choices. Okay. We are going to take a little break now, and then when we come back, we're going to talk to Walter about his third image. Welcome back to part 2 of the Pangolin Podcast with me, Toby Jermyn, and my guest today, Pangolin photo host Walter Aron. Walter, right, your third image, please. Will you describe for the listeners and the viewers, what are we seeing here?
On this image here, we see 4 lioness, the female lioness, just standing up on the horizon, staring down there on the floodplains. This was in the Delta in Shindi. What I love about this picture is that we went out there on the game drive and the grass was so long. So at this point, we couldn't see anything in the floodplains. So we're just driving and we decided just to take a long drive. We could hear animals shouting, especially baboons. And we started paying attention. Then suddenly, boom, we saw these lions now standing right on top of a termite mound. As we know in the Delta, Botswana is more flat. So these 4 lionesses decided to go on top of the termite mound just to scan the horizon, just to see who is out there. And when we came down close to them, we were more involved in the sky, which I love about it because we could see those floating cotton clouds behind them in the back view. So it was very, very interesting.
It's very true, actually. Until you fly into the Okavango Delta, where, when you fly from Chobe, you have no idea how flat one country can be. I mean, the difference in elevation, this is probably the highest point in Shindi. There is no other place. And it's not only you struggling to see stuff because of the tall grass. Obviously, the lionesses are too as well. So these 4 lionesses, were they parts of a larger pride? Do you know if they had cubs around or anything?
Well, they actually had only 2 cubs, if I remember very well. They were very hungry, actually. So after that, they came down, started walking in the tall grass. At some point, we are following them. At some point, we are losing them. And then the guide was like, oh, there they are, popping from a different angle, because we couldn't see what they were actually looking for, apart from hearing baboons. And then out of nowhere, one of them came up with a baboon kill.
Wow.
But then one of the adult dominant female claimed the kill, whereby everybody just have to back off. Because, a baboon is just a snack to
Yeah.
a lion. So talking about now 4 lions to share. So the dominant one will just take everything.
That's amazing. I don't think I've heard about it. I've never seen it, obviously, but that's a very hungry lion, isn't it? If they're going after baboons.
Exactly, because normally as big pride, they will try to hunt something bigger that will accommodate everybody or where everybody can eat peacefully. But now to think of a baboon, I think it's just even an appetizer for them just to get a little bit energy so they can look for something bigger to hunt.
Wow. It's a very rare thing to hear about. And also quite dangerous because if you've got a big male baboon in the troop as well, that big baboon can do some proper damage to a lion as well. So it was probably a risk, wasn't it? Or did the baboons just scatter?
Yeah, baboons, they've got really, really big canine teeth in their mouths. So that can cause a lot of damage if they happen to bite back. So to this case, they took him out of surprise because it was a really, really tall grass. And the lion actually managed to stalk one of them. Maybe he wasn't paying attention too much and he thought maybe he's too far away from this lioness. But then there was a lioness just too close that he didn't see in that tall grass that when he pounced, that was it.
That was it. It was done. Do you think, we like the fact that, you came to us as a guide who then developed their photographic skills. Do you think that that's the way, if people are thinking of becoming a pangolin photo host, for example, would you suggest they should go and do solid guiding experience first and then do photography?
Well, to me, I will say definitely because when you have the knowledge about the animals that you are dealing with in your surrounding, you know the behavior, you know what they might do next. I mean, it's even an advantage to you to get a guest like, okay, be ready. This might go this way. So in this case, in this lion's hunting, you might say, okay, increase your shutter speed so that you don't get motion blur if they happen to start sprinting into the wilderness, chasing something. So to me, having that knowledge in your background really, really helps a lot in terms when you are a wildlife photographer.
Excellent. Now you're helping out a lot with the next generation. Obviously, your mentors were, I think you worked really closely with Charles, didn't you? Charles Stolz, who most of you will know from the channel, when you were learning. How did he really help you develop your photography? What are the big tips you remember from him?
Oh, wow. Charlie is amazing. I mean, I have learned so much from him, getting all the tips, his shooting strategy. It really helped me to improve my techniques and the way I shoot in wildlife photography. So the way I look at things, the way I think, I love the way he's even shooting from a boat. One time I thought like, okay, a crocodile is going to get this man because he loved to shoot, even extending his arms beyond the position of the boat just to get to that eye level. Actually, for that matter, I fell in love with shooting from a lower angle to a point that I even sometimes put my camera right just below the water, like some centimeters. At some point, I even touch the water just below there to protect my camera so it doesn't drown, just trying to get to that perfect position. So, I mean, being under his mentoring helped me a lot.
Oh, brilliant. And now, obviously, you're passing that information on to the next generation as well. Does it make you feel proud that you're in a position now where you're now passing it on to the next group coming through?
Oh, yes. Actually, it makes me feel really, really proud that now I'm able to teach others as well to get into the wildlife photography, to have that eye that I'm having in terms of photography as well. I mean, they love the way I shoot. Sometimes when I don't pick up my camera, they'll be like, why is he not taking photos? By the time I grab my pictures, they say, oh, wait, everybody is going down now. Once he's getting his camera, something good is coming up. And it really, really feels good actually motivating somebody as well to become a professional wildlife photography.
Brilliant. If you had one tip for a photographer coming on safari, what's it going to be? You know, you got a guest coming for their first time to Africa. What's your top photographic tip?
Well, to me, I will say bring any camera brand you have with you. And more especially here in Chobe, because the animals are so friendly, most of them. So I will say bring any medium-sized lens, not a bigger lens. It's unbelievable that you might even need 16 to 35 millimeter lens. That most people will call that a landscape lens. So to me, yeah, I will advise everybody just to bring whatever they have, expect unexpected in Chobe because animals are so calm.
When you see people reaching for their phones because they're too close, they start pulling out the cell phone instead.
Definitely.
Definitely. That's when you know you're too close. You're quite right. The animals in Chobe are probably the calmest, I would say, anywhere in Africa. They're ridiculous. It's like they don't care. I don't care that anybody's there. An elephant will carry on. Buffalo's busy fighting a crocodile, doesn't care about you. Okay, cool. Let's move on to your fourth image then, shall we? Which is, it's a stunner.
Yeah, in this image, it's a Jacana chick jumping from Leopard to another. So this one, we got it in one of the best of Chobe trip in Kasika Channel in Namibia. And when we got there, we found this daddy Jacana with the chicks. He did carry the chicks under the wings as soon as he saw us and started moving away as a sort of protection. You know, in Jacana lives, they do more kind of polyandry, the females, because they mate with a couple of males just to increase the chances of survival because they nest on top of the lily pads. So it was one of those beautiful moments to come across a daddy Jacana. So we followed it. And at some point we had to give it a distance, just switch off the engine motor and we just remain quiet. So in this case, you can clearly see, as we talked about shooting from a lower position, I mean, the Jacana chicks are so tiny. So now I went to a point where I extended my hands outside the boat just to get to that level. It wasn't easy because, you know, when they jump from one lily pad to the next, your focus can quickly grab a water lily. So Daddy carried them, crossed over, and then he dropped them and they started running around because they realized that no, the object around us is not danger at all. They started jumping from one lily pad to the next. And what I love in this picture is the little water drop that comes right from those long toes. So normally most people will call this bird a Jesus bird because from a distance, when you look at it, you might think that it's working on top of water while he's actually working on any floating materials. So he will actually balance himself with those long toes. And what I liked about it is that he's trying to propel himself with those tiny wings because sometimes when they jump from one lily pad to the other, so they can actually fall in if the gap was too big. And when falling in, it can go either way. So big fish like tiger fish or catfish, they can actually get it. Or even a crocodile babies, they can actually get them.
Yeah. To give the viewers an idea of the size, I would say that a Jacana chick is probably about 15 centimeters tall. They are tiny, and they move so fast. They're just running around the water lily. Any danger, straight under Daddy Jacana's wings, and then they go out again. So when you're seeing this, the light looks like it's early morning. Was it early morning light? Maybe late afternoon. What do you do with your settings? You've got a very small, fast-moving subject. What are you telling your clients to do as far as settings are concerned?
Well, in this case, because of the motion that we get there, I always advise my guests to increase their shutter speed. I think I was shooting something like 2,500, and I managed to freeze all those water droplets that he's dragging with his toes when jumping from one lily pad to the next. And you can clearly see there is another little Jacana chick just right behind, just blurring off. So I'm shooting in a busy environment. I wanted a very clear subject that will outstand the background. So I went completely down to f4 so that I can get a very nice shallow depth of field.
And you mentioned that sometimes the autofocus can grab onto other things as like a lily flower, or it might have gone past and gone, look at the Jacana behind. What were you shooting with here? Did you have animal eye tracking on at this point?
Yes, I had animal eye tracking, which actually helps in birds as well. So it goes right to the eye and locks focus on it. So that is how I manage when he's slipping to the next lily pad, my focus remained on it.
Make the most of the technology. But these are the kind of shots which would have been nearly impossible before animal eye tracking came along because they are so small and so fast. So if any of you have watched BBC's Planet Earth 3, the BBC came to film with us and they came to film a whole scene about baby jacanas. And we were so excited they were going to talk about Jacanas in the Chobe. And David Attenborough started talking about lily trotters, which is their other name. You mentioned one name they've got, which is the Jesus bird, because they walk on water. And then David Attenborough started talking about lily trotters. I'm like, no, Sir David, no, it's a Jacana. Stop calling it something else. Anyway, if you want to see baby Jacanas, March, April, that's the time to come. Really beautiful time of year because it's at the end of summertime. So what do you love? You've been a guide, a wildlife guide on the river, and you've been a photo guide. How does it compare? Is it a very different experience for you? Do you sometimes find that you're talking too much about the animal behavior? Go, oh, hang on, I better tell them about settings.
I mean, the guides really sometimes they were like, Walter, hang on, allow us to say something because, once you're in the field and you're shooting wildlife photography, you know what is going to happen next. And sometimes when something is about to happen, I'm quickly to say to the guest, quickly, it's going to do this. And the guide was like, Walter, leave that to me. I'm the one who's supposed to say, guys, is going to do this next and watch out. But those are the things that I'm quick to get to because of that knowledge that was with me, actually. So I talk a lot in the boat in terms of giving the settings, in terms of animal behaviors, what they're going to do next.
You're stealing their job. So for those of you who haven't been to Botswana with us, whenever we go out on a game drive or a boat cruise, we have the photo host and we have the guide who's driving the boat or driving the vehicle. And the realms of responsibility should be Walter does the photography, the guide does the animal stuff. But obviously, Walter's now stealing the show most of the time. So the guide's sitting in the back sulking. I want to speak. Let me speak.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them sometimes because, they have to say something at the end of the day, yes.
Exactly. They can remember me at the back of the boat. Okay, we're going to have a break. And when we come back, we are going to have a look at a photograph by a photographer that Walter admires that maybe he wish he took. So we'll see you in a second. Thank you. Welcome back to the final part of the Pangolin Podcast with my guest today, Pangolin photo host Walter Aron. So, Walter, at this stage, we have asked you to choose an image taken by another photographer that you admire, that you wish you'd maybe taken yourself. So, tell us about this image. Who took it? Why did you choose it? And why does it inspire you?
Well, this image here is a baby elephant struggling to stand on his own 4 feet. And it was taken by Charles Stoll, the man who actually mentored me through this journey of wildlife photography. We can clearly see the baby elephant was just some few, maybe 3 days, 4 days old. So it looks like he fell and now he wants to get up. And mommy is giving the support by his big foot on one end, and on the other hand, he's supporting the baby with a trunk, because if he doesn't, the baby might actually flip over. And what I like about it is the soft, gentle touch that mommy is actually giving to this baby. So as we all know, elephants, they are so huge, but they are so gentle. When it comes to their babies, their love is outstanding and incomparable. So that is one thing that I love about elephants.
You see, and there I was thinking that this was representative of your relationship with your mentor, Charles. There's you, the baby elephant, being helped up by Charles. Do you think is this why you chose it?
It hit the spot because he's actually lifting the baby. I mean, it's helping the baby to get up. So Charles helped me to get up on my 2 feet while I was actually thought I was there in wildlife photography. And he was like, no, shoot like this, and you will see your pictures becoming more outstanding. So that is why on the previous image of the Jacana, I actually shot like Charles. So I extended my hands outside the boat and get into that eye level. You can clearly see, though this was shot on a game drive, Charles will always back up if there was not enough space. So that is really, really what I loved about this, because the way he positioned his vehicle, it was amazing because he got the baby into that eye level.
I didn't realize this was on a game drive. I've seen this photograph lots, and I always thought it was taken from the boat. But this was a game drive, but obviously further away, and the elephant and the baby are on a slight elevation, do you think? I don't know. Were you there when Charles took the photograph?
No, I wasn't there, but he told me that it was on the game drive. But the fact that he pulled back gave him that eye level position, even when he was in the car.
So yeah, there we go. If you're going to shoot like Charles, that's going to be the motto for this. Go low, shoot like Charles. We've got Charles coming on the show soon, and Charles got an amazing portfolio, so I'm sure he'll dive into that. Walter, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure to chat to you and talk about some of your images. Before I go and you go, the one big question is, you're in a remote location. These pictures are hanging on your wall, but you get to choose where that remote location is. Where are you going to be living?
Definitely back home at my home village called Gumare in the Delta. So that is exactly where I'm going to be. Yeah.
It counts because it's remote. And then at the same time, you also get time to go and spend with your boys as well, because your boys are going to have to come with you, aren't they?
Exactly. So they'll have to come with me there.
You can keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them in between game drives. Walter, thank you very much for, first of all, for having the courage to walk into the hotel and demand to speak to Guts. I think it's the smartest move you ever made. And we are truly appreciative of the fact that you took that risk and you took that plunge, putting yourself out there. You are a very valued member of the team, and we hope to have you as part of the Pangolin family for many, many, many years to come. So thank you for everything, and thank you very much for doing the show with me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining me on another episode of the Pangolin Podcast. I hope you have enjoyed it. As always, we'd love to hear your comments and feedback, so please leave them in the comments below. Whilst you're at it, please give us a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss the next episode or any of the other wildlife photography videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And finally, don't forget to sign up to the Pangolin Photo Safari's Friday Focus newsletter. You can do that by heading over to pangolinphoto.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you on a Pangolin Photo Safari soon, and all that's left for me to say is that the Pangolin Podcast was hosted by me, Toby Jermyn, and produced and edited by Bella Falk. Thank you.